Hello, people say that good governance, democracy, economic empowerment, all these things go together. But there are a lot of things, elements that makes good governance happen. And one of them is deployment of technology and being nimble in delivering good services to the people. One of the people that makes this happen in Gombe is the director, he governance in the Gombe State government, and he's joining me today. He's also going to be talking about the southern senatorial zone of Gombe State, where he's a chieftain and one of the leading voices of the Tanglay Nation, Mr. Ahmed Magem. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for
Okay,
having me.
so I know that I didn't get your designation right properly, but you're going to forgive me on that, and you're going to probably introduce yourself better. But a lot of people already know you. You don't need introduction because on social media, on some of these e-governance, technology, and co, you are well known. So you don't really need an introduction to many people. But I'll go straight into this. I know that beyond that media space, the new media space, people don't really know who Ahmed Magem is. So I'll ask you, who is Ahmed Magem?
Okay, if I would describe myself first and foremost, I would describe myself as an eclectic person, which means that I wear many hats. I could be described as a journalist in some instances. I could also be described as a tech professional. I could also be described as as a business person, and then somebody that, in the words of Dr. Dre, will say, "Been there, done that." And then
Okay.
it's
Now coming back to rap. So you see what I'm saying now? From tech to rap, now to culture. No, please just go ahead. Go ahead. I'm enjoying this.
yeah. So it's something that I'm like I said, I wear so many hats, and it depends on what situation where I am. And then to the glory of God, at the moment, I am the executive director, e-governance and digital economy of the Gombe State Information Technology and Digital Economic Commission, GOSIDEC. On the other side again, I'm the executive director for Springfield Center for Peace and Humanitarian Development. And then another hat I'm wearing again, I'm the national president for the Tangale Renaissance Association.
Like an Hydra motivated.
Exactly.
Don't mind me. But it's actually good that you can function in so many roles at the same time.
Mhm.
And I think this goes to your exposure and your upbringing.
That's right.
Because people might not know this. You have lived in almost every part of Nigeria.
Sure,
So
sure.
tell us about that.
Yes, I was born and brought up in Lagos, where I did my primary school, secondary school, as well as my university. Part of my secondary school I did in Abeokuta, Ogun State. I also did in Bauchi State,
Okay.
and then lived shortly in a while in Port Harcourt, as well as Enugu State, and then some short stints somewhere down in Uyo Akwa Ibom State. And this also has taken me around virtually every state of Nigeria because of my adventure, being somebody that loves history a lot, which was part of my first degree, and then was something that it makes me want to know Nigeria. Like in one of my first courses in the university, the first question we were asked is, "As the land, so are the people," in relation to Nigeria discourse. So just that
Discuss.
question alone made me to understand each part of Nigeria, the land, the people, what makes them tick, what makes them look the way they look, what makes them dress the way they dress, and the group thing where we see people behaving the same way, and then people looking at like that. If you look at a Nigerian from any part of Nigeria, you are able to tell where that person is from. Sometimes by his voice, sometimes by his physique, how he looks, and then, for example, if you see any Fulani man somewhere in Oron or in Aron Diziogu or somewhere in Eket, or you say in Badagry or in Okitipupa, you definitely be able to tell this person is not from here.
Is
Then
often.
if you see an Igbo man somewhere in Gombe or maybe in Katsina, you are able to tell that this person is not from that. So why is it like that? Most times is the geography, the kind of food they eat that has determined how the people look and how they are.
Interesting. Because when you start mentioning the name of those communities, now I know a lot of people are lost, but those communities are scattered around Nigeria, like in the Akwa Ibom axis,
Yes,
Port
South
Harcourt
South.
axis, and,
Yeah, I
and
mentioned
La-
South South,
Lagos, Badagry
mentioned
too.
Southwest,
So,
North
cool.
Central, as well as Northern.
Okay, now you have shown off. You showed us that you know Nigeria. You're a proper Nigerian
Mhm,
who has been everywhere. You've been there. You've seen that. You've done that, like Dr. Dre, that you admitted
mhm,
to. So, but let's come back home. Um, I know that you're not a typical politician.
mhm,
You really seem to be more of a critic of government than a
mhm,
part of government.
mhm.
So, how did the government advance you? How did it get into service?
Okay. The first time I came into government as a critic, is something that I believe that we criticize government not because we are doing it out of spite or because we are partisan. We do that because we are looking to see proper things being done. Like, I'm the kind of person that if I see a governor, I criticize the governor for something, no matter how vehement I am on that. If I see the governor doing a good thing in that particular area, I normally switch and I begin to praise him for doing a good job. Why are we criticizing him in the first place? Is because we see that he's not doing the right thing. But if he starts doing the right thing, common sense just dictates that follow who no road, follow the person that is doing
So, have
the
you
right thing.
criticized this government before?
Oh yes, I've done that.
This
I've done that.
particular
Yeah, this
government you're
particular
serving
government.
now?
Yes, I've done that
Oh,
on several
interesting.
occasions. But it is very easy to criticize the government than wearing the shoes of the
Hmm.
government. Now, to the glory of God, from the instance where this government came into power, I saw hope. I saw a new change, and I saw a trend whereby, knowing the antecedent of the present governor from the time when he was a commissioner, it was a good thing. Um, we can't even complain about Gombe State because we say Gombe State has been, if not the only state, or I can say one of the states that is blessed with visionary leaders and governors. So the only place we criticize minimally and so far. And I think the criticism of this government from on my own part has just been minimal in some areas, which has to do with our own kind of work. And then seeing what the governor is doing so far, there is no person that will not be won over by seeing the kind of work we're seeing on ground. We had some guests that came into Gombe today, and they were in Gombe about 4 years ago, and I'm sorry, about 6 years ago.
Okay.
They came into Gombe today on my invitation, and the person said he almost got lost. I said, don't worry. After the event of today, I'm going to take you around Gombe for you to begin to see the wonderful things that is going on. And then when we did that today, the only thing he said to me, he said, is your governor an architect? I now
Hmm.
smiled. I said, he's not an architect, but we have tagged him the architect of modern Gombe.
Interesting. So now, beyond your portfolio as an
Executive director,
e-governance
e-governance, digital
executive,
economy.
you seem to also be a spokesperson and a public relations officer for the governor. But that's just by the way,
Yes.
because you seem to be marketing him pretty well.
Yeah.
If I weren't a little rigid, I probably
Mhm.
would have been won over too by you. But let's now delve deep into e-governance. You said there was an event today. What was the
Mhm.
event about?
Yes.
Then let's also tie it with the e-governance
Yeah.
and what impact is it making in
Mhm.
improving governance?
Okay, so honestly, I would like to say um, we have to give kudos to the executive governor of
Mm.
Gombe State for this project. What is the project? The project is the establishment of the Gombe State Information Technology and Digital Economy Commission. Now, this commission is saddled with the responsibility of taking Gombe away from the analog era into the digital era. And then one of the things that we are trying to do, if you know what NIDA does, as well as what the Federal Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy does, that is where we come in. We are two-in-one commission. Our mandate is now to turn Gombe to become modern, have a very robust e-governance platform where we will see Gombe State government fully move away from the analog way of
Mm.
doing things
Okay.
into a digital space of doing things. Now, what does that do? What does it mean for e-governance? It means there is going to be a lot of government efficiency. There's going to be our civil servants will now be up to date in the use of modern tools to run government offices. So far, when you go to some offices, what you see are not encouraging. But with this new initiative that is coming on, and with the full support we are getting from the executive governor, it's really commendable. It sometimes I wonder, I said, how does this man have so much interest in seeing Gombe workforce, not only the infrastructural development we are seeing, but also seeing the workforce being transformed into into the modern era, the 21st century.
Century.
We're in the age of AI today. A lot of people, you can imagine, in the age of AI, some people say they are civil servants, yet they don't even know how to operate and just an ordinary Android phone. Let me give you an example. There was a woman that I visited their house. I saw she and her husband could not open her phone because it has already been locked and they have forgotten the pattern that they used to open
To
the
open
phone.
the phone.
So I just sat down a while. I was just looking at them. I said, you people are struggling, struggling. I said, you know what you do? Give your phone to your children. Let them play with it.
They open it.
And we sat down, we were doing other things. After a while, I just heard one of the boys just say, Mommy, I've opened your phone. The mother was shocked because that was a new phone. They locked it. None of the children have ever held that phone before, and they were able to open it. And then the man asked, he said, how did you know that this would happen? I said, look, your children are called what we call digital natives. In a local parlance, if I want to use it in broken language, we say children of nowadays, they be like children where they born them with wire for belly, where they know how to
It's
open
open.
everything. So that means it's for us to just harness the talent that these young people have. Now, this is the age of AI. We say that if you don't use AI, somebody using AI is going to replace you
To replay
at your
you.
job. It is not the AI that will replace you, but it
Is
is
the person
somebody
using
that
the
is
AI?
using AI. And the use of that AI is not about your age. It's about your efficiency, how you can use it. And it's cut across every profession, every field that anybody, the only way you can get news is only via mainstream media. But right now, with just a phone and with a YouTube and Facebook channel, virtually everybody is now a journalist. And it makes even the work of regulating journalism more difficult.
More difficult.
So, but then that is where, even if you want to say you want to talk about the ethics of journalism, it becomes even more difficult because who regulates all
Who
these other
regulates?
things?
But before we delve away too far from the issue of e-governance, I want you to also tie it to this secretariat being constructed. How would these reforms tie into bringing all the civil servants in Gombe from these rented apartments where they are all scattered to one location, then create more efficiency, tie it to the reforms, the thumb printing, everything,
Yeah.
deployment of technology in making sure there's attendance, the issue of ghost workers being eliminated.
Mhm.
Just tie this together.
Okay. Now, if when you look at the present system, you look at the system that the governor is putting in place, and what is that system? There is a wonderful system whereby, first and foremost, the infrastructure is being built. All Gombe State MDAs will no longer be in rented apartments or in some dilapidated buildings. They are now going to be in a modern and standard building where you can compete with any other system, any other building anywhere in the world. That is a kudos. That is a wonderful thing to be done. Now, what does that do again? All MDAs, all ministries of the state government will all be in one place. Now, that is one. The next thing is the first thing we're talking about infrastructure that is being provided, that is being put in place, so that there will be efficiency in government operation. The other one is having hardware, the computers, the systems that is going to be used in all the offices. That is also being provided for. And then the third one, you cannot have infrastructure in place without having what we call the manpower. You need to have a very skilled man workforce to be able to get that done. Now, for this to be achieved, that means that is where what we are doing right now is we started what is called the e-governance platform. We have done this, we have tested it, we've done some demo, and it is working well. Now, once this is completed, it means the whole of the Gombe State governance system will just be something, will be seamless. No more paperwork,
Seamless.
no more sending messenger from one office to take a letter to. No, no, no. Everything will just be done. Things that have been done in 1 month before, now we can just do it in one single day. Any process that used to take maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks to be done, if we sit down just within 1 month and 1 hour, all that can now be. So that means it's going to bring in serious government efficiency. It's going to plug in any kind of leakage
Leakage and wastage.
or wastage. And then it's going to ensure that things move faster. The bureaucratic bottleneck of any other thing will be moved. If you see the platform that we have currently in Gombe State as our e-governance platform, I am proud to say that this is currently the best platform that we have in Nigeria. I will give you our reason why. At the moment we were appointed, the governor made it possible for us to travel to understudy other states across Nigeria. We went to Enugu State, we went to Lagos State, and then we went to Abuja and to other organizations across Abuja. Being that we have seen how all others operate and how they do, we decided we have the talent in Gombe, we have the skills, we have the people. We came back into Gombe and we did our underground work, and then we started building our own system from the ground up. And currently,
From the ground
from
up.
the ground up, no any foreign consultant or anybody that was brought in. We did it locally. And then the platform that we have currently, by the time it is launched, when you see it, you agree with me that it is currently the best system that we have in Nigeria.
Is this going to translate to better service for the people? Because people listening to you would say, how does this affect me?
Oh,
How does it put food on my
oh,
table?
great.
So how do the people benefit from that?
So, when you, the first one that I spoke about is about the e-governance platform, and the other aspect of my office is the digital economy. Now, if we look at what we are looking at, digital economy entails a lot. That with already the digital economy in Gombe, or I would say across Nigeria, you want to buy, you want to use for example, you want to use a car. What are you using to buy your ticket? You are using OPay, you are using Money Point, you are using Colo Money, you are using Kuda, you are using MotoPay. All these are all vestiges of the economy. Now we are looking at the system whereby the ordinary person, now we don't have bikes available at immediately after 7 p.m.
Okay.
Once the digital economy comes on board fully, what do? You are able to use an app, just like you order for Uber and Bolt. You use an app, you order for Keke, and then for each of our economy that we are going, it is that when we are encouraging more people to go digital in their payment of goods and services in the state, you are able to have a proper statistics of how the people are doing in the state when it relates to.
But the banks are already doing that. So are you saying that e-governance will translate into payment of utility bills, hospitals, schools? Would that also?
Every aspect of our human endeavor in the state, e-governance is going to, the digital economy is going to affect that. The e-governance is for government, while the one for the entire citizen is the digital. Now, for the e-governance, you could have somebody that is interested in having, for example, birth certificate. What is the normal process now? You have to go manually to the state, to local government and others, start asking for something, then demanding for this certificate, go and bring that passport. But with the e-governance, you don't even need to leave Lagos. And for example, I need my indigent letter. I will now leave Lagos, travel all the way from Lagos, come to Gombe. From Gombe, I go to Kaltungo, go to my local government secretariat, needing all that. With the new e-governance citizen portal, we don't even need that anymore. You can just be online, do your order, seek for whatever you want to seek for, and make your payment. The fund go, everything is processed. Within 1-2 days, you are going to see your indigent letter or your birth certificate, whichever one you need, in the platform, and then you download it.
Interesting. I really hope that these things can be implemented and sustained that you've mentioned. But talking about local government and talking about Kaltungo and where you come from, let's really talk about the Tangle Nation. What are you doing for your people? What role? I'm be hearing from the grapevine, from gossip that you have something cooking there.
Okay, I'm currently the national president of the Tangale Renaissance Association. Tangale Renaissance Association is a platform that is a unifying platform for all Tangale people. Wherever any Tangale person is seen as one of the Tangale nation. That's why we call it the Renaissance, meaning a rebirth, a renewal of thought of different things. Now, who are the people that make up the Tangale nation? We are talking of people from Shongom, people from Kaltungo, people from Iliri, people from Akko, and some Tangale people from
Sometimes,
Akko, as well as some Tangale people from Plateau State, from Yobe State, from like we are hearing from Niger State. So we are
really,
talking
Tangale
about,
people
yes,
that far
yes. So
flung.
we are talking about even some Tangale people that we are hearing that some of them are in present day Chad, some are in Sudan. So all our own is to see where are the Tangale people having one single platform. So currently this month, we are choosing the month of July as the Tangale Awakening Month. This is a month that will be discussing a lot of our, showcasing a lot of Tangale culture, heritage, cuisine, and what have you. And luckily, under the Springfield Center for Peace and Humanitarian Development, we've had a proper support by the Heritage Management Organization in Washington, D.C., where we are pushing for more awareness, training of different people in the aspect to showcase this culture to the world. And then this is for the progress of the state, as well as especially for the Tangale people. Now, this is, if you remember, in America, there's what we call the Black History Month that tells the story of the black people. And then sometime last year we had what was called the Enzebirom Festival, which was a wonderful festival. And then being somebody that was born and brought up in Lagos, we remember very well the Eyo Festival, which was
always
so sweet.
glamorous.
Yes, it was glamorous and all that. So we're looking how we also can have such festivals of Tangale people going forward, moving from this year forward, and then see how we can showcase the Tangale people.
So bringing together the Tangale people, now trying to tie up all our conversation, bringing together the Tangale people, because you have a lot of illustrious sons and daughters all over the world. How do you intend to bring that unity to translate to development on the ground? Because we still have issues in Tangale.
Yes.
There's lots of poverty, lots of illiteracy, health-related issues. How do we bring these people together so they can bring their wealth of experience, knowledge, and goodwill to the people?
It's quite interesting to see that the Tangale nation, as well as the entire Gombe South and Gombe State in general, is a state that has been blessed with wonderful men and women. And I'm telling you, when I'm talking about wonderful men and women, are people that are making the entire Nigeria proud in their areas of endeavor across the world. And then in particularly to my own people, the Tangale people, I can tell you, I counted one sometimes back. We're working on a database of having the who and who is who in Tangale professionals across the world. And then from what I saw sometimes back in the United States of America, where I was able to travel to about 16 states, and I noticed that in each state that I go, there are at least 3 or 4 Tangale people in that location. And in that same location, all these people are doing exceedingly well as professionals in their field. Now, coming to Nigeria, we want to see how we can harness this talent, these skills for the development of our people and land, as well as the entire state. Now, what are we? I can consider myself as one of the diasporans that born and brought up in Lagos. I have never lived in Gombe before, but because of we have something to do for our state, we have something to give to our state. We decided, okay, let us move down. We all cannot just be in Lagos or in Abuja saying we are doing something, but why don't we bring our talent? There are many of them out there that needs to be scouted to bring their knowledge. Today we are not. Yes, sometimes back our people were fighting over mundane issues like land. What brings about that? It's usually poverty that causes that. But then in today's world, nobody talks about fighting over land anymore. Instead, what do people do? If people can use their brain to become enterprising, I keep taking example from the Igbo people. And one of the things we are doing, if you notice the Igbo apprenticeship system, which was studied even at Harvard, a wonderful thing. And I ask anybody, do not hate the Igbo people for this. Instead, love them and learn from them. And we decided also to learn from the Igbo people. And that gave birth to what we are calling the Tangale apprenticeship system, program.
So just talk about that 30 seconds, please. Just
the Tangale apprenticeship program is something that we are We are learning from the Igbos what they have done so far. We want to see how we can take young people from indigent families, attach, attach them to people doing very well in different businesses. As soon as that is done, 5 years later, when they are being settled, it will be a system that will be well managed. We have seen the mistakes of the previous. Our Igbo brothers, some of them as consultants, have told us what can go wrong in the area of settling. But we have decided we are going to make it proper. We are not going to allow anybody to undermine any child, exploit any child, anybody. So once this person has done, if we do this very well, if we succeed in the long run, this is going to be producing millionaires.
And that's a system of wealth generation and a system of poverty alleviation without having to just dole out money, but rather teaching them to fish.
Teach them to fish.
And I also didn't lose track of that small thing you just dropped into the line that you visited 16 states in the United States.
That's right.
Like, what were you thinking about? But that's a conversation for another day.
Yes.
That's a conversation for another day. It's always a pleasure speaking with you, Ahmed Magem, one of the intellectuals to have come out of Gombe. And I'm glad that you're doing your state proud. I'm glad that you left Lagos and you're back home to serve your people and to also contribute your quota. And I hope that many other sons and daughters of Gombe out there, even if you can't come and stay like Ahmed has done, but you can contribute from wherever you are. And so that's where we're going to tie the program up today. Join us again on this same platform for another interesting conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.